Okay, it is Tuesday, September 6th, and today we're going to play with something a little different. I'm going to kind of go back to how all this crazy hobby started for me, back to stuff that is old, dirty, greasy, and rusty. Got the 66 F100. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you remember when I bought it. It was wild. This truck was all apart, torn down to nothing. I had a long way to go before I could fool with this a lot, but luckily it ran good when I got it, even though it does have some frame rod issues and cab mount issues. It's got some rot underneath. Body, not bad at all, but it does have some things that need to be fixed before I drive it more. It is licensed and registered, so I don't have to worry about getting that done whenever I do get it to where I want it to get it. But for now, the carburetor started leaking gas really bad. Sounds acting like the power valve is completely blown out or rotted out. So we got the carburetor apart, took it apart last night. Had it soaking in gasoline all night, and it's already starting to clean up pretty good. I keep telling myself I'm going to order some actual carburetor dip, but I keep forgetting. And by the time I need it, it's too late, and I always clean it the old conventional way. So we're going to get this thing cleaned up, back together. I have a kit that I ordered quite a while ago. Found it on eBay for cheap. Got some new points, and I think there's a condenser in there too. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get it cleaned up, and I'll show you how it runs. It was it used to run pretty good, and then it started leaking everywhere. So we're going to throw a clean carburetor on top of old greasy engine, and if it runs good, maybe I'll take it down the road real quick. That's as clean as this is going to get. Not bad for just the old-fashioned gas way. Cleaning with gas it is. And it has some really, really dark black on the, I guess you call these the Venturis, and inside and on the choke plate. That may, I don't know if it was due to the oil bath breather or not, but this old truck's got that on there. I guess that's a rare thing nowadays to find. But, set this camera down. But I probably need to put a regular old dry breather on it. Okay, the oil bath breathers, I guess what they were for were to collect a lot of dust, I guess. I think you've seen them a lot on dump trucks and stuff like that. That was in dusty construction sites, and a lot of just half tons like this were bought by farmers and used on the farm. And I guess that's why a lot of them had oil bath breathers. I don't know if the cars had them or not, this old or older. But anyway, it's kind of a rare thing. Not really what I need to put on this truck for what I may do with it later, but kind of cool to have it. I'll hang on to it. I don't know if anybody would want to buy it or not, but I'm not really sure if I want to sell it. I like to hang on to hard to find stuff. But anyway, let's get this thing together. I think I got it all. I bet some of you thought I was going to put the carburetor together on video. Fooled you. Actually, I did not do it for two reasons. Number one, I just wanted to put a carburetor together in peace. Three reasons. I just wanted to put the carburetor together in peace. Number two, I've already done a video on putting a carburetor together. A two-barrel, that is. Number three, the last video I did on a Motorcraft two-barrel, people told me I did it wrong, even though it ran just fine. So, that's that. But, believe it or not, all my new parts matched. They made so many different variants of the Motorcraft two-barrel that a lot of times you'll get a kit that is universal, but there's always missing a gasket or two that matches and stuff like that. But everything matched. So hopefully this will all go good. And I did not take the time to look up exactly. Uh-oh, they don't line up. I did not take the time to look up the exact model. As long as the parts matched, I saw no reason to do that. I do know it's got 52 jets in it. Whatever that's worth to. Most likely the original carburetor for this truck, which is 352 V8. The early version of the 360, which they later labeled it as, in I think 67 or 8. Probably 67. That was the first generation of that body style, not this one. This is the last of this generation body style, the 66. It's tight. Tight. Now this one has got a lever that goes here, and I should have went ahead and put it on. It goes, the bolts for the accelerator pump goes there. Alright, all together. I think I got my choke set. I would like it to close completely, but that nut won't go any farther. Maybe there's supposed to be a spacer under there I forgot about, but I don't see anything. But look what I found. I'm not sure if this is the exact correct piece, but it will serve its purpose. It looks like it is the right piece. I found it in a box of ancient carburetor parts. I should have put some lube on that. A little Vaseline on it. It's better than nothing over that hole. I will go online and see if I can find that exact diaphragm. But if this works, maybe I won't worry about it, because I think it's supposed to prevent vapor lock. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get this on without tearing it, which I just did, but we're not dead yet here. I think it's supposed to go just like that. Yeah, I still didn't, I haven't destroyed it yet. It just had a really long piece to pull it through. But it's not really seated into the hole yet. It's probably not the exact correct piece. But if it works, it will work. I may just leave it like that. Now it doesn't. Okay, well, it wasn't easy. I had to take this back off, but I finally got this little diaphragm, and from the pictures I've seen, that is the correct diaphragm. So let's try sticking it back on. And I think if you do have to adjust it, it's by bending it. So we're going to leave it like it was. Actually, it looks like we kind of okay, looks like something's going on here. Ah, my spring came undone. There we go. Okay, what's going on here? I see what's going on. Spring sticking through the hole. How did that happen? Really? Amazing how something can just pop out of place on its own, but be almost impossible to force back in. There we go. I think that's it. way to find out. There we go. Now, yeah, now it's seems to be working. We'll know exactly how it's adjusted once I get it bolted down. Oops, got on the wrong side here. Into place. Yeah, it's holding it way off of there. Couldn't really, I think I did find one picture of what this rubber plug was supposed to look like, and that is the right plug. As far as how it's supposed to go on, there are so many different styles of a bow vent diaphragm. Some don't have anything. I couldn't really find this exact one, so I'm hoping I got it right. And that should be it. It looks like at idle it's up a little bit, which I guess would help prevent vapor lock on a hot day. Kind of let the vapors come out. But of course, when you're wide open, or if you just give it some gas, it shuts. So I think it's set about right. We'll see. I'm just glad I had that diaphragm. It did not come in the kit that I had, but it was in some leftover parts from a previous kit. I think it was the one where I rebuilt the carburetor for that 69 Torino for a guy at work. Yeah, there we go. It's fairly listed at idle. So we'll leave that there. I don't have the correct fuel filter for it. So I may... What was that? Huh, heard a noise. So I may... Probably my dog in there going after something. I may have to use an inline filter for now. This had no filter on it. Not my doing. So let's get all that rounded up and put it on and see what happens. Okay, so I had to make a trip to town. Then it started pouring rain on me, as it does every day here in Kentucky, especially when you're on vacation. But you know how your local stores tell you don't shop online, so you can come to us, get the correct parts? Well, here's the fuel filter they say fits this truck. Maybe the carburetor's been swapped, I don't know. But as you can see, that ain't going to work. And I also bought what I thought was a flashlight, and it turned out to be a blue UV light. So I feel like I completely wasted my time. But now this thing, someone had gotten rid of the filter on this thing. So who knows if this carburetor is original or not. I've kind of figured it was, because everything fit like it was originally hooked up to everything. But I ended up making an adapter. Now these threads are not a pipe thread. Now this is a pipe thread, 1/8 inch to the filter. But a 1/2 20 thread, I took a fitting that was a 3/8 pipe thread, I think, and I ran it through a 1/2 20 die, tapping die, this guy right here, and it seems to fit. So we'll see if it leaks or not. I did this on my tractor once. It's supposed to have a settling bulb, and I put a screw-in filter for it. Hardly nobody has these old filters locally anymore. These screw-in filters for the old Fords. You used to be able to just walk into a place and get it off the shelf. It was hanging on the wall. Now, since all my stuff is way outdated, or at least stuff like this, you just don't have that option no more. You pretty much got to make do with what you got in order, or wait in order. The ratchet's not doing so well. Okay, I'm going to hope that seals. Stuff usually works pretty good with fuel. Worked good on a race car. Was being thinking that it got bigger on me. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. It looks a little funny, but it'll work. Better than no filter. Just making sure there's no leaks. See if I can get some gas in there. Maybe I should squirt a little in there. Don't see nothing there. Can't see, it's dark. It's wet. See what happens when we choke it? Still running the same though. Let's see if it's leaking. It is exactly how it's running though. So I may still need to do those points. Planned on doing it anyway. We do have a little bit of a leak right here. Let's see if I can't tighten that up a little bit. Didn't expect it to be perfect, did you? Oh, I was hoping it would. Yeah, the fitting, we may have to we may have to seal that up better. I think when I did that on the tractor, I used JB Weld on the threads, and it worked. Oh, that should have twisted. Yeah, it's still spluttering now. I kind of figured that was probably points. But like I said, the carburetor needed to be fixed still, so. Let's just get it running and get it to stop leaking, and then we'll look at the points. Still see some dripping. Let's see what it does now. Still going to run, not going to run right until I fix that other issue. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Okay, let's do the points. I may have to... Is it still leaking? Yeah, it's still leaking. Alright, we gotta fix that. Let me do the points and fix that. Yeah, I would say they could be causing a problem. I got a feeling when I put them in, it's going to act right. Hopefully I'll have my leak fixed too. It might have something to do with something right there too. I put points in it and it acted a little better, but it's still kind of crackling and popping when you give it a little bit of gas, hold it about a quarter way down. And I've never had the plugs out since I bought this truck. Actually, I've never had the plugs out, period. I shouldn't say since I bought the truck, but I never pulled them out. It always hit on all 8 and ran good until this arrived. But needless to say, I'm going to clean all these, and whether it fixes it or not, I'm going to be ordering new plugs, plug wires, and a cap. The cap looked terrible too. I cleaned it the best I could, but we'll do that and we'll see how it acts. Okay, after cleaning the plugs, which is all I can do with what I have, it's better, but it's still not right. You rev it up, it pops and crackles through the exhaust. You know, it could be some carbon buildup, but it could also be those very old ancient plug wires too. And actually, that's not as bad as it was. It seems to be getting better. I just let it have a little bit of RPM. There you go. She's kind of popping and cracking. That could be bad plug wires, or even still the plugs. Even though I cleaned them, I mean they weren't oil fouled. They were just rusty, and it could be because the truck just sat so much. And when I did start it, all I did was just like drive it across the field or across the yard or haul limbs and stuff. It hadn't been on the road for so long. So I think tomorrow I may just take it down the road, put some fresh gas in it. It could be old gas too. I shouldn't do this, but I run it close to empty because it kind of smells up the inside. Probably needs some new fuel lines, or it might need a new tank too. But could be because of that. But we got a new filter in it now, and we don't have to worry about dirt. But it does seem to run better. At least now, I can move it around without leaking gas. I fixed my leak. The JB weld fit works. When all you gotta do is seal threads, it will work on a gas fitting. So, see if it'll just fire right back up. It kind of goes blut, 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 then fires. But it's doing better than it was. So we'll try some new plugs and plug wires. And a cap. The cap looked terrible. Yeah, we'll see how it does. Like I said, I might put some fuel on in the morning and take her down the road. Alright, so now we fast forward to December 3rd. Almost forgot that I had made this video. I've been busy, as you'll know from my last video. But got the 64 Fairlane apart for the winter. The slicks are safe in the warm house in the basement. But I never did finish the video on this truck. And I mentioned taking you for a drive. Well, we're not going to do that. I got loaded with firewood now. But we left off on this video. I said I was going to get some new points and plugs and spark plug wires and a rotor cap. And I did all that. And I guess it's better. I'm going to do a cold start here. It's better, but still something isn't the way it used to be on this truck. It's just not. Still got a little bit of crackling and popping going on. And even though there's no dead miss at idle, it just feels rough. I'm beginning to think this old distributor has got some weight stuck in it. I got my timing. My timing when you rev it up, the time it advances, actually it kind of advances too much. So there might be something going on with those weights. Maybe the stops are broke off or something, I don't know. Or it could also be a clogged passage in that carburetor. But let's do a cold start here. Pretty chilly tonight. It's 45 in here, but I bet it's colder out there. Let's see, hopefully the key is still in it. And does cold start pretty good now. So at least we got that going for us. Let's put her in neutral. We don't want it to take off on me. Let's bump it just to be sure. Yeah. Pull the choke out. 4 or 5 squirts. As you can see, she cold starts good. You can still hear that popping and cracking, but it is cold. Have to let it warm up. It'll sound better after it warms up. But I'm going to have to look deeper into it. Maybe take that distributor apart, see what I can find. Maybe even try another carburetor. I wouldn't mind putting a 500 CFM Holley 2-barrel on it or something. Kind of pricey for what I do with this old truck, but I do want to put this truck on the road someday. Plug wires do not, the length is all out of whack. And unfortunately, I threw away the old plug wires, and I wish I'd have kept them as a reference for length. I swear I think they was original. They were cut so perfect and fit the engine like a original engine would look. I wish I hadn't thrown them away. I could have kept them for a reference. But let's let her warm up a little bit. It's still just like I said, it's not like a dead cylinder. I did run a compression check, I think, in the videos. So it's got good compression. And I'm not sure if I covered it in the rest of this video or not. Like I said, I am continuing a video I made 2 or 3 months ago, but I also removed the fuel sending unit cap and looked down in the tank, and it looks brand new in there, so that is not an issue. I also ran some sea foam through the engine. It only had 2 or 3 gallons of gas in it, and I ran it until it was almost empty with some sea foam in it, about half a can, and didn't really seem to change much. But well, there it is already idling without a choke. So still got that popping and crackling going on, and if you hold it a certain RPM, still does that. So we got some more tuning to do when I get a chance. Not sure when I'm going to get around to that. At least right now I can move it around without it leaking gas, and it will idle without a choke now, so we made some improvements. So we'll call this a video, and probably in the summer, or after I get all this firewood out of this thing, we'll go for a ride in it, see how it does. Maybe we'll get a chance to fool with it. Top priority for this winter is to get the race car ready for next year. Hope to do that early in the winter, then just put it away and not have to worry about it for the rest of the winter until racing season. And it'll be ready to go. And something else that I'm wanting to do is put some quiet exhaust on the Trino, make it quieter than it is. Not sure how quiet I can make it, but the can that's in it, we'll see. So anyway, just wanted to finish this video up, and there's more to come. Thanks for watching.